EPA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for September 23rd, 2022. It is the first full day of autumn today. Of course, you felt that if you were out last evening with the breezy conditions and the temperature drop. And today's not going to manage very high in the temperatures, as you see above me. 58 to 65 is the temperature spread from northwest to southeast today. And we're continuing those breezy conditions today with 10 to 15 mile per hour sustained winds. Occasional gust 25 to 30, maybe 35 in the Poconos. So it's going to feel every bit of the first day of autumn, certainly today, or first full day of autumn, I should say. The Friday video forecast is proudly sponsored by McCall Collective Brewing. McCall is a family-owned and operated business with 2 locations in the Lehigh Valley. Their original Southside Allentown location at 102 East Susquehanna Street is open 7 days a week and features a full food menu, over 17 different beers to choose from, including a new fall lineup, local wine and cocktails, and at their newest location, McCall Collective Tap House in Trexlertown, located at 7743 Hamilton Boulevard, you can find 10 beers on draft, along with a house smoked barbecue menu that is open 6 days a week. For more information, visit their Facebook page, or to place online orders, visit their website, mccallcollectivebrewing.com. Proud sponsors of the Friday video forecast. So mostly sunny skies are going to be around today, so that's a good thing, but it's just going to be breezy and chilly, and our bodies aren't really used to this yet. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you're just really not acclimated to these temperatures with the winds, combination of the wind and the lower temperatures today. Not going to be cold like it is in December or January. This isn't that kind of cold, but it's still relative to what we've been used to. It's going to feel a lot colder than it actually is. And those winds will subside on Saturday, and the temperatures are going to go up a little bit. As you see above me, 66 to 72 is the spread in temperatures from northwest to southeast. A little bit of moderation here on Saturday to start your weekend. Mostly sunny skies expected. Partly cloudy to start Sunday morning, and then we're going to have clouds quickly increase. We'll have some showers working in during the afternoon. It's going to be late in the afternoon farther east, and these showers will overspread the region through the evening and part of the overnight before this pulls away, and we're back to partly cloudy, maybe just a stray shower in our northern areas here on Monday. Here's the NAM high-res. Actually, this is not the high-res, the low-resolution NAM, because this goes beyond the 60-hour limit of the high-resolution version. So this is looking at 11 o'clock in the morning, as you see in the upper right-hand corner of the video, and you got some showers moving across north-central PA at this point. It's not going to be until we get to the kind of mid-afternoon or late afternoon. This is looking at 5 p.m. You get some showers working over the eastern part of Pennsylvania here at this point. So most of your days dry up until that point. And then we have a few showers that are going to work its way through all the way to the coast. And that's going to go into, again, through the evening and part of the overnight. But it's going to be kind of sporadic. It's not going to be a constant or heavy rain or anything like that. Just some showery activity that's coming in during the afternoon and lasting through the evening. And then in the overnight, this should start to clear out as that lifts off to the north. And Monday should be a partly cloudy day behind it, and temperatures are going to drop again. This is escorting another trough into the region. Not quite as potent as the one we just had, but this is a pretty elongated trough, if you will. The other one would be the first one we're dealing with today. If I go back to today here, it's a very deep trough just over the northeast U.S. Okay, so if we look at this, we get this trough axis that's kind of situated like this. It's kind of a deep trough that's sitting over the region, and the core of it is up here, so it's just funneling all these winds down into this direction again here on Friday. Okay, so that's what the trough looks like today, and as we move into next week, once we get into this next trough, it's more elongated, so the trough is like this. Okay, so it's a little flatter, if you will, so that's going to give you temperatures that are still back into the about 70 degrees or so, either side of 70 degrees on Monday. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're back into the 60s again, but just not as chilly as today is going to be. So we're going to have a couple of days next week that are going to be dry, we think, and that goes all the way up until Thursday. You'll see another system coming into a region down here. The first one is Fiona that is moving away. It's departing Bermuda this morning, and it's going to be heading up to Atlantic Canada, the coastal regions of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So we're going to see those areas getting hit by what is essentially a hurricane, but technically it's not. It'll be post-tropical up at that point, but it's still going to be one heck of a storm with a lot of wind, a lot of rain as it moves through those regions, and there are hurricane watches up for those areas for that reason. So we go over to the Caribbean here. Now, we talked about Invest 98L yesterday and the day before. I went at great lengths the last 2 days for that. Just want to show you where we're at. This is where we're expected to be this morning. We do have a closed low here, but it's still kind of elongated. And once we get to this point here, which the model's going to do a lot of guessing up until that point, until we get a solid low pressure system south of Jamaica at the longitude of Jamaica, I think we'll have a better idea, what we're going to be dealing with at that point. And it's going to depend on whether it's forming closer to Jamaica here as far as the low center, or if it's down here, which is going to give it as kind of its launching point of where it's going to go after that point. If it's the northern part, it's probably going to do one of these numbers here or something close to that. If it's the southern part, it could head out toward the Yucatan and then do one of these numbers further west. So this will have implications on the U.S. down the road, and also possibly our weather toward the end of the month or very early in October. We're not quite there yet. We will have no idea until this thing gets to right about Jamaica, and it's a little bit more organized and stacked at not just the surface, but also at the mid-levels and maybe even upper levels with a tropical storm at that point. Well, once we know what this low position is, we'll have a better understanding of where it's going to go. So right now, the European model, just to show you what this does, it goes over Cuba because it's on the northern part of that track, and then slams into the Keys, just south of Naples, goes across southern Florida, and exits and goes up the coast. And in this run, the run that ran this afternoon of the European model actually missed our area entirely. Some other runs, like the GFS, which came in a little bit further west, was something that we dealt with some remnants. Not a big hit by any means in our area, but it did have some remnant rainfall with that. So we're going to be watching this system and what it does. We're not going to know until about Sunday when it gets to this point right here, where Jamaica, by the way, is right here, in case you didn't know where that was. There's Jamaica. So it's going to be just south of there. It's going to be just south, or it's going to be even further south, which is going to change the trajectory downstream and change timing and strength and things like that. So we don't know that until we get identify where the low center is and what kind of strength we're dealing with at that point when it gets to this longitude, which is about where Jamaica is. Okay, so we'll know that by, this is looking at Sunday up here. Okay, so we'll see. We got a couple days to look at this. And then when I do the next video forecast, I'll have one again for the weekend video forecast, which will kind of just relay the same thing over and over again that I've just been saying. But once we get to Sunday and I do the next video forecast for Monday morning, I should have a better idea at that point where it's going to be heading in the direction of the U.S. So I think somewhere around the southeastern United States is going to get somewhere between here and here are going to get something. Okay, some effects of that, maybe direct or indirect. We'll see. Okay, weather affects our area. We don't know that yet. Just keep following along, especially next week, and we'll have better details at that time once this becomes more clear. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for September 23rd, 2022. Have a great Friday.